Hello, and welcome to this little campfire in a quiet corner of Gianthold for what will be our level 26 episode of Purple Does Potions. The road is never smooth, is it? And the game always has a way of reminding you you're never as good or as strong as you think you are. So I prefer to focus on the positives, which are that we have been pretty comfortable running in Reaper 2 in this epic life, which I suppose is normal for casters to be managing reasonably well higher levels than an equivalent level melee would. But when I tried bumping it up to 4, as you've seen, I have managed to complete the odd one, but it's never smooth. And I did a couple of quests with our Blightcaster from the Bear Party, one of which was the Prison of the Plains. And although we sailed through very nicely until the end, we did really well. I was thoroughly enjoying YOLOing forward and flash freezing everything for the Blightcaster to pick up behind me. But we got well and truly found out when we got to the end. The two bosses there, the Wraith and the Warforged. The Wraith in particular, and they have quite a retinue of things as well following them round, and Reapers in and amongst there. We just couldn't keep up with the healing. Twice we got hammered. We did try to res once, but discovered that the bosses in there, the whole encounter resets, doesn't it? Because you have to go and pull the valve again at the top and restart the whole thing. And we got beaten again. Just didn't have the damage to kill them before they killed us. So that was a bit of a sobering experience. But all in all, I still think it's been broadly positive. I mean, if you'd have told me we were going to be going through and doing Reaper 2s reasonably comfortably, I would have taken that. As the epic journey sort of nears the middle and we start going up past the sort of mid-20s in quest level, I'm beginning to find that this greater colour spray, I think it's in the low 60s in Epic Reaper, is not by any means 100% to stop the Reaper targets, and that's causing all manner of problems and deaths, because a carnage or a plague that gets away from me and starts to hammer on me, we don't last very long, put it that way. I mean, I do try when that instance happens. I hit all the big attacks and hope to kill it before it kills me. But on Reaper 4 they are quite resilient, those things. And yes, to have one or two of them in your face when you can't crowd control them reliably is quite a challenge. What else do I have listed? Nothing else of any import really. So we can have a quick look, because at 26 we get the third cause in the epic trees. So we've got some absorption there from the primal core, which is nice, and a bit more spell power. Same for the draconic, less spell cost, and we've got this temporary hit point thing triggering on spell cast, which is nice. Almost all the spells we cast match our draconic bloodline in so much as they have some acid component in there, so that's good. I've taken the 3 universal spell powers just for a bit of extra oomph. The enlarge doesn't do any good for us this time around because we don't have that. My caster druid does use that, and also the evasion from this tree, which is nice. I was thinking with the points we get moving forward, we could possibly, as we have Wellspring, even though we're not using the Dragon Breath, we could push on in here and acquire the pull from the wellspring to double the wellspring duration. That might be nice to have. There are some half decent things still in here. The reflex saves would be great for our evasion. Then we can perhaps pick up some fortitude saves too on the way up. That's just a thought, or maybe we should instead do something with the third tree. I don't know. I think by the time it comes to do something with that, we're going to be almost at the cap. So that decision will have been taken away from me. The meta magic cost reduction thing, when we're going in evergreen as we are at the moment, the temporary spell points we get from that are such that I'm not really too bothered about these kinds of things. So I'll leave those alone. Spell point wise, we've been doing really nicely. I've been throwing around whatever I would like, and I still haven't managed to dent too much the spell point pool before the end of the quest. So very positive on that score. Right, we are just finishing off in the Prison of the Plains area, and the last quest we have to go in here is the Rakshasa Lair. So I wouldn't normally push this high, but for the purposes of entertainment we're going to go up to 4 and see what we can do. If nothing else, see how long we can last and what kind of a grisly mistake I can make to seal our fate this time around. The end fight is not, I don't think it's one of the more taxing ones, so if we can make it there, maybe we have a chance. The biggest worry I have, as mentioned, that's a bit on the low side for sort of mid to late epic. I'm just going to have to switch that phone off. My apologies. Okay. So yes, about the DCs in general, they are a little bit on the low side for mid to late epic, I think. Although the freeze is still working nicely. I definitely would like, maybe should have done it already, to pick up Embolden at 27 to give us 2 on all DCs. I think that certainly would be a step in the right direction. Okay.
A distressed female voice
Let's do our best not to get totaled straight away. So that's my standard thing, flash freeze and multi-vial. Sorry Mikey, I'm not bothering with breakables this time. I'm just bothering with staying alive. Now, where possible, I do take a little bit of notice of the reaction state. Where possible, I try and put us back in orange. A better plan would have been to put us back in orange when there was something to shoot, because that reaction, if you didn't know, does boost the spell power for a little bit, depending on your, I think it's on your, is it Alchemist levels or character levels? It's a 10-second boost to the power anyway. I made a total cock-up of that, didn't I? Running around panicking because we were half down on health and then realising everything was frozen. I suppose that's the one big issue with the flash freeze strategy. You're doing it from touch range more or less. So of course it stands to reason they can also hammer you. The one thing I got right there before the total panic was the shard storm. To go into the contacts with that going is a really nice strategy, because you're getting the temp hit point bonus from that too. Maybe a shield that could be life preserving. That was nice on the Reaper. Remembering that we have a significant bonus, 45% in all now, between our crush weakness feat and our thing that we've got in the falconry tree to damage against the helpless. So always worth making things helpless if we can, especially when there's a Reaper in the middle of it all. Okay. Our heal bottle is pretty good at healing us up, even through the Reaper nerf. So that's quite nice. Okay. One or two dodgy little moments, but so far not too bad. Oh, there was a bit of lag there. I was just going to say I'm going to abuse the hell out of the flash freeze and see how far we can get. As you can see there, 1500 Reaper XP, and I've no potion or anything going. So if you can manage to push the skulls a little bit when you're going through Epic, it's well worth the effort. Come on now. I'm trying not to rely on the frog so much, because as one of you mentioned already, every time I do that it does take me out of the orange state, and we are getting a little bit of a bonus to where are we? Yes, in Pyrite Reaction we gain 2% spell crit damage, and so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I don't know whether that one counts as well, possibly not. No. But we're getting 10% crit damage, and also this burning ambition thing is triggering whilst in Pyrite. So it does pay us to try to be aware of this and stay in there when possible. If there's something particularly nasty, I should still totally use the frog, but I'm going to try and pay attention to that where possible. What did I press there? Wrong key. I wanted displacement. I think I pressed remove disease potion, didn't I? Oh dear. So that any buff like displacement will take us out of the Pyrite state. Oh, that was a nice one. That was the elemental combination. I use that as a sort of a primer for the multivials to come when I have a big target like a Reaper. But in its own right, it's a pretty hard hitting thing. Should remember the power buffs as well. Got lucky there and caught the Reaper. Almost missed it. Come on then, when you're ready. Nice. Now the trap here shouldn't bother us too much as we have evasion. Gonna spike back into Pyrite here for this lot. Nice. I'm happy with the amount of use we're making of the shard storm. That's very, very important for our survival. In fact, both SLAs are seeing their share of use. What was that? Nothing. Okay, come on, let's see this through now. Sneaky little boost.
You're really good at this.
My displacement has gone. But if they're all dead, they can't hit you, can they? Still suffering from this same bug where I can't see when the gold skin runs out. It does do text reminder on the screen, but every time I trigger, I think it's Shard Storm. When the Shard Storm wears off, we don't get to see the gold skin overlay anymore, which is a shame. Just die already. He's not going to. That was me being stingy. I didn't want to waste a big spell on him.
The room is mounted above this lever. A second has been set into the floor beyond the gate.
I always like to see our army of little frogs around.
How did that even happen?
Okay. Can we get them all? Most of them. Froggy to finish.
Desperation in the voice.
Okay.
Grow. The large rune glows as the gate.
Where am I going? The wrong way, as usual. It's pathetically easy to disorient me in this game. Okay, we could do with being back in orange, couldn't we? So let's open with a yellow one. You, sir, are not welcome here. And crowd control's held up reasonably well against the Reapers. I can't complain too much about how that's done.
Interrogator and several of his implements are clearly missing.
Isn't this the best part of adventuring?
So come on now, let's not fall at the final hurdle. Can I get us back in? I'll sort of cheat our way back into orange, or at least I'll prepare it. So the next one we... Oh no, I did a buff and we've gone into the wrong colour again. So the... it has to be a yellow one, doesn't it? Okay, lead with the yellow one. Get all the boosts on. Can we freeze these beggars? So that's a yellow one. That's a useful one to lead with, as it also froze them. Oh, Black Dragon Bolt, don't want that. That can be painful. Look at the damage. Okay. If we can avoid a Reaper popping up, I think we've probably got this. We'll trigger the boost again, what we've got. We're in orange already. Let's try and hide in here if we can. Get these beggars out of the way. Come on now, 1v1. We've got this. Anything, throw anything in. Oh no, 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 no. I used my harper pin there to break that dance thing. Yes, beautiful. Well done, little alchemist. Happy days. So as you could see, it wasn't plain sailing, but that was about as good as it gets for me on Reaper 4. I know Gianthold is soft content, and I also know that maybe this quest is not the toughest one I could have picked in here, but I'm more than happy at that. I've tried to press the key to show you how many. Oh, it just flicked off. I know it was 1500 or more Reaper XP, which for me on the way up through Epic is very good. So more than happy with that. It's funny. It's like a little roller coaster when you're trying to push a little bit. You complete something higher than you might have anticipated, and you think, yeah, great, I'm rocking and rolling here. Then you get absolutely hammered by another one, and it's like a low moment. You get knocked down, but we've got to get back up again, back on the horse, keep going. Not far now to the cap. I'm going to push on and complete the rest of Gianthold. We've done all the Evening Star chain related quests up to and including the High Road. So we've just got Wayloon and the Stormhorns to do. And I think we're in a pretty good place. As regards the Purple series in general, I think this is... oops, didn't mean to walk into them. This is comfortably... I thought there was one of those little swords that you could touch for a bit more XP. This is comfortably the highest level we've been able to manage with him. If I'd have pushed a bit harder, maybe the Blightcaster could have done similar, but certainly the melees weren't capable of doing that, and I think that's normal, listening to other people who play melee more than I do. I think for levelling at least, it's normal that that the casters are capable of doing a bit higher with the amount of crowd control they've got. On that subject, if you've checked the list, you might know that the Barbarian is up next for Purple. As you know, I do like my crowd control, especially at soloing. It can be super valuable. So I'm definitely going to want to work some stunning blowing quite early. Our bear does have stunning blow on her build, and I've noticed it's pretty effective on a strike through build because you're hitting more than one target. I think she hits 3 reliably, so every time she triggers a stunning blow you can have 3 helpless targets in front of you. And as the I think the Barbarian gets opportunities for bonus damage to the helpless, don't they? We won't be going in the falconry tree, I'm pretty sure, but hopefully we can acquire it from other means. Maybe the orc tree. I quite fancy, I've never done a half orc. I quite fancy going in there and using the tree, which seems a good fit with the Barbarian, and seeing what we can manage. Anyway, we're still an alchemist. We're still rolling along quite nicely. And I am still waffling along uselessly. So thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you in the next one. Take care.